right, so here we are at day number 14. We're just on a roll. And today we are going to work with sky replacement AI because it's not a tool that I use a lot. So it's going to be some discovery learning, but I think it's simple enough that I can figure it out. Here we are inside of All in Photo Raw, and I have this photo that I took at a lake, and it's actually not bad. I kind of like the photo. What I'm going to do is come over here. Let's see if a good color profile change will do us any better. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We're just going to have some fun. Okay, I kind of like the vivid profile. I like what it's doing to the trees there, like making them a little bit more vibrantly green. And we could fix that with a color enhancer, but not worried about that. We're going to get to the sky now. So that way, we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and click on sky, and on one is going to look at the image. It's going to find the sky, hopefully, which I think it will. This is a relatively easy image. So let's hit the letter O. Yeah, it found the sky, but I don't see much of what's going on with the reflections down there. So we'll see what happens. Now, I feel like this should be a really, really like sunrise type of image. So I'm going to see if I have any sunrise skies, right? Because again, I don't use this that often, so I don't know what's in here. But let's go ahead and click on categories. And this says tropical sunrise. And that doesn't match, but there's probably a few in here that might. So let's find out. And it's nice that you can kind of hover over these, and based off of the speed of your computer, you'll be able to see a preset or a preview of it. And I'm looking for something that will match the light that's in the image. Not so much the direction, because I can change that, but really just clouds that would match. And I'm not sure if I'm even doing this right. Again, I don't change skies. I have an idea of what you could do, but maybe. So I'll fast forward through this until I find something that I like, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so it looks like I like this sky here. It doesn't quite match the light, and I'll have to figure that out. So, that's kind of part of the fun with editing skies, right? Let's go ahead and pull the horizon down, because it was kind of peeking through at the edge there, but look at how good this is on the edge of the tree line here. Like, these are organic shapes, and I'm getting a really good mask for these particular shapes. So I'm not mad at that, not one bit. Now, I want to jump to this reflection because I feel like I'm missing some love on this reflection right now. So let me just minimize some of these things, get some more real estate here. And then let's turn on reflection. And yeah, as I suspected, it's not doing much to the reflect. Oh, okay. It's adding in those clouds and trying to make it more believable. So let's see, foreground lighting maybe. And we might need to play around with this a bit. And, this is kind of the discovery learning for me, because I'm not quite sure how all of these tools work, and I want to learn, right? That's why I'm using it. So we're kind of learning together. And if I turn off foreground lighting, that's just really impacting the trees here. But there's a distance slider. So I imagine if I pull this distance further, it's going further down onto the image. And so that could be working pretty well for me. I'm not entirely sure what the edges. Oh, okay. The edges are working up here at the edge of the mask. That would make sense. So, okay, that's cool. And then we have this set to a a blend mode of multiply. So I think I can work with that. Let's see if we could do something with this reflection, because I feel like the water is more blue than what the sky is. So I may have to fix that on its own mask layer. So we'll take a look. But let's see. Okay, so this is shifting the overlaid image, and I didn't even realize that it was kind of in this area here. So that's cool. And then we have the amount. So if you pull it up, you probably get a really strong look versus if you pull it down. So, okay, that's not too bad. I like that. And I have the appearance. Now, the appearance, this was shot at f8, and I was pretty far away. This is on my 35 to 150. So I was pretty far away at 35 millimeters, and I shot it again at f8. So I think that this is appropriate focus, but if you needed to, you could blur the sky, especially if you were working with a long exposure. You probably would want to blur the sky here, but I'm not overly concerned about it because I'm not blurring, or I don't think I need to have this blurred, but for the sake of fun, I'll put a little bit of blur in there. Not that I needed it. So let's come back to position and see what we got here. So we can shift the horizon. You seen me do that earlier. I pulled it down because it was kind of peeking through at the edge there. And then we have opacity. Now this is actually kind of cool because, and it's even impacting the reflection. So the opacity, if I want to blend this with the initial sky, so that way, you get a little bit more of a believable composite. Sometimes you want to go a little overboard, and other times you want to be believable. So I think that makes sense. And pulling it down to 76 really does look pretty good for this particular image. And then you can also scale this up, so making things larger. So maybe somewhere around here could also work pretty well for the image. But then if I do that, I think I need to go back and reduce that blur. So I'll just go ahead and pull the scale back down just a bit. I think this is pretty good. So in a nutshell, that's kind of how the sky replacement tool works. But I mentioned I want to work with this foreground and make it match this color up here. So some of the ways that I could do that is I come over to local, hit add adjustment, and I'll just replace or reset the exposure because I don't want to actually, maybe we will try a negative or no, it needs to be positive because I need it to be more of a faded blue, and this is like really dark blue. So we'll do that, and then I'll get my masking bug, and with a gradient mask, I'm just going to come up here. We'll go gradient, and then I'm just going to click and hit the letter O. Yep, it's going at the bottom of my image, and I'm not going to make this like entirely perfect, but I'll go ahead and increase the exposure just a little bit, maybe even boost the midtones. And that's starting to match more with the sky, but this is a more desaturated look. So maybe I'll come down here, pull down on the saturation, and that's starting to match a little bit better. And then maybe even pull down on the vibrance. Now the challenge that I'm also running into here is it's impacting these little green stocks. And this is where I think a color range mask will do me a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and activate color range, and then I'm going to come over here to the masking, click on the eye picker tool, select the color range there. Let's hit the letter O, take a look at what we got selected. For some reason, it's selecting the stocks here, and I don't want those selected, so we're just going to pull this over somewhere around there, and then we'll come over to our color range, and we will refine this until I start to see more of those stocks turn black. So, and I think that looks pretty good. We'll hit the letter O, take a look at how this is working, and let's go ahead and pull the mids just a bit more. Yeah, I think that it's working out pretty well. And then of course we can work on the saturation and vibrance. So pulling down on the vibrance, or maybe pushing it. No, we'll pull it down. that's matching the sky just a little bit better. And then of course we can also, let me take a look at the mask again. Yeah, I'll give it a little bit of a feather just so it fades a little bit easier into the image. So I think that that matches a little bit more. Let's go ahead and turn this off and turn it back on. It's not as dark in here compared to the sky, so I think that that works. And so the next step, I think for the entire image, we'll come over to Effects, we'll hit Add Filter. I'm going to throw a tone enhancer on here, and hopefully this will help with solidifying all of the tones in the image. So I'll just throw a little bit of a, not an S curve, we'll pull down on the mids and maybe pull the shadows up just to give those a little bit more of a luminosity boost, and maybe even pull down on the highlights to kind of flatten the image out. And then now that I have a more flat image, let's go ahead and turn this on and off. And if you're wondering, like, Chris, why did you select the tone enhancer and all you modified was the curve? Well, I didn't realize that I only wanted to work with the curve. I was actually going to come in here and try to modify with the slider. So that's the reason why I selected the tone enhancer. Then of course I'll hit Add Filter again. And this time we will use the tone enhancer. And I am going to just push the contrast slider to the right. And maybe let's, yeah, push the black. And then let's play with the compression. And the reason why I separated this, and I think that looks good. The reason why I separated the two is because if this didn't flatten it out enough, because like right now it's really popping, and that's the reason why I wanted to flatten it out and then reshape the tonal contrast in the image. And that's what the second tone enhancer is for. So this isn't really a tutorial about that or a video about that. I just wanted to explore with the sky swap AI. This photo, it worked out pretty well. So here is the before. This is without the sky replacement. I think the sky in this photo actually looks pretty good. And then here's the final edit. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm not that crazy about it, but that's life. At least we got to explore the sky replacement AI tool together. If you got questions, leave it in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll be honest though, I don't really use this, so maybe I need to use it more frequently. Let me know down in the comments. Do you want to see me use the sky swap AI more frequently in my photo editing? If you do, let me know down in the comment section. If you want to learn on One Photo Raw, consider signing up for a coaching call. The link is in the description box below. If you want to pick up on one or anything else over at the On One website, consider using my affiliate link down in the description box. Because it's an affiliate link, I do make a commission, but that's at no extra charge to you. And it helps support this channel in a very, very special way. It helps me continue to make the content right here on Free Will Photos, and I greatly appreciate everyone who wants to partner with me in that regard. So with all that being said, until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.